Greetings and welcome to another episode of Schnozzcast. This is Bob, joined by my co-hosts Cory and Nick, and special guest Dave, the Davester, Ezekiel.
I miss baby Zeke.
I thought I'd throw in the nickname.
Not the mama.
The nickname that we all know him by. So tonight, we got a little booze news for you. TT's TikToks, a little bit of gentleman's agreement, and perhaps an existential question. Gentlemen, how are you? Cory?
Oh, swell.
Nick?
Oh, not so bad.
Dave, the Davester, Ezekiel.
Tired.
Or as you're commonly known, that's a joke nickname by me. Lefty.
Lefty.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Lefty Martinez.
Just what I've heard.
I'm gonna need a backstory on Lefty then.
We'll come up with one.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard Lefty.
Yeah. Cory, go.
The year was 1989.
Actually,
We left him at Buffalo Wild Wings.
his original in the 90s, his original nickname was Dave Left Eye Ezekiel when he was a part of BLC.
BLC.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The three of you guys before I knew you were
Bacon, lettuce, and Cory.
In your yes, in your own
I'm going to show my age
R&B
here, but
band?
I assume that's a take on Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
Yes.
But now I'm struggling. She wasn't in Salt and Peppa. Was she in
TLC?
TLC?
Yeah.
She was?
Yeah.
Her name is part of the name of the band.
Don't
Oh, the L?
go chasing
Okay.
waterfalls.
Well, I mean, L is a common name in a lot of female rap.
Left Eye.
They weren't a rap group.
Well, that's why I thought she was hardcore. I thought she was more like a
The
gangster.
Band-Aid? The Band-Aid made her.
I don't know what I couldn't pick her out of the crowd.
It also made Nelly a badass.
I thought TLC
It did.
did a lot of like slower jams. No?
Yeah. So that's why I was questioning the rap comment.
Oh, no.
Because didn't she burn down her house?
Yeah,
Or
she did. She burned down her house.
She seems very gangsta to me. I'm like,
She
she can't be in that
Left Eye,
easy going.
Left Eye was the one, and they were like the R&B, like vocals in the background, and then Left Eye was the rapper. She was like,
Yeah.
she would come in and do the rapping like riff.
Nick
She
knows
was
a lot about TLC, apparently.
she what dude? I know a lot about the 90s.
Nick knows a lot
I-
about everything.
I appreciate it.
She
I
died.
don't.
Left
She
of knowledge over there.
she set a house on fire.
Yep.
And
Because her boyfriend.
I don't know
unfaithful or
I don't
something?
know all the details of it, but she died in a fiery crash. I know
All right,
that as
we
well.
got to look this up. I love how this podcast can. It's not. First of all, let's make sure that the anybody who's listening knows we didn't plan on talking about Lisa Left Eye Lopez
Before 20 seconds ago.
Yeah, it just sort of came up.
If no one said Lisa Left Eye or Left Eye for the next 20 years, we would never talk about it again.
Oh,
But because
no,
of when you guys were
that is not
when you guys
true.
were a part of
I-
BLC.
I feel like it would have came up at some point.
Well,
She was killed in a car crash while on vacation and shooting a documentary about charity work in Honduras. Mm-hmm. Come on, Wikipedia, get to the goddamn personal life shit.
she set a house on fire.
Yeah, why is that not its own section on? Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
She was often vocal about her personal life and difficult past. She openly stated that she came from an abusive, alcoholic background and struggled with alcoholism herself. These issues became headline news in 1994 when she was arrested for setting fire to Andre Risen's sneakers in a bathtub, which ultimately spread to the mansion they shared and destroyed it. I didn't know it was Andre Risen. That's amazing. She claimed that Risen had beaten her after a night out, and she set fire to his shoes to get back at him, but that burning down the house was an accident. She later revealed that she did not have a lot of freedom within the relationship and that Risen abused her emotionally and physically. She said that she released her frustrations about the relationship on the night of the fire. Well, I think that's fairly accurate, given that the entire house burned down.
Yeah.
All right, so if you're new to the podcast, thanks for joining us. You can find us here each and every week. We release episodes on Fridays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You can also find us out at the streaming services.
The steamer services.
Hold on. The streaming
Why
services.
not?
Slow down, buddy. The streaming services like iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Mixcloud, Stitcher, or anywhere else where you can find a podcast. Go ahead, Cory.
First and foremost,
Yeah.
looking at you with the camera right there, it's like
Watching
Al.
me behind me.
No, not Al. Who was the neighbor?
Wilson.
Wilson.
I knew where you're going.
You were talking, and all I saw were your
With
eyes.
my eyes?
Yes.
Looking longingly.
Hey there, neighbor.
And secondly, why did you try to put on a sexy voice after?
Try to slow things down.
Oh, is that
You thought that was a sexy voice?
Slow things down.
his attempt at it?
Oh, okay. Because all I kept thinking about was
If you found it sexy, please text us or call us at 618-SHOCKER.
there was actually an article that I read about TLC that said
We're back on TLC.
no,
Yes, we are.
because he just
That's how the show goes.
Yeah. There was an article I read on about TLC that stated that when she was attempting to burn the abusive boyfriend's shoes and set the house on fire, that she was blaring Talking Heads.
Really?
Yeah. Burning down the house.
Oh, you motherfucker.
You fell right into that one, buddy.
You can follow us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, all at Schnozzcast. You can also email us with your complaints about that last joke to schnozzcast@gmail.com, or you can call and text us about that crazy, stupid joke at 618-SHOCKER.
Really? I like the Talking Heads. Tell me more. It's like
You know me well. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. You wrote me in with
putting a
Talking
banana out with a hook in it for a
God
monkey. It's like
damn it.
I knew he was going to go right for it.
I hate this podcast.
Put this in my mouth.
So we just spent probably 45 plus minutes on the
Yes.
phone with support, trying to make sure we can get the bandwidth necessary to stream this out to all of you lucky people all
Sure, it was more
across
like
the
an hour
world.
and a half.
And I was literally sitting here having anxiety. Seriously,
Oh, were
like
you?
I had to leave.
You were having anxiety?
Yeah, because
Being not on the phone doing nothing?
Because we spent 5 glorious days up in Taos,
Like 3.
kayaking and
Like 3 glorious days.
at the Osble River.
right.
See the shirt? Check it out.
Sorry, part of that name was under your nipple.
Oh, hang on.
so-
let me get it out for you. There we go.
So we spent 5 glorious days drinking and kayaking and generally having a really good time up in Upper Michigan. We'll say, is it
Mid Michigan?
Is it Mid Michigan?
Yeah.
Mid-ish.
It's northern Michigan.
Mid-Eastern Michigan?
No, it's northern Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah, if
Sure.
you're yeah.
The northern part of the Lower Peninsula.
Yeah, it's northern
fair?
Michigan. I mean,
Well, northern
There's
Michigan,
northern-
really the Upper Peninsula.
yeah, but the Upper Peninsula thinks of themselves as like their own state.
Their own
so
state?
if you're saying northern Michigan,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean technically,
fair.
yeah, the northern part of the Lower Peninsula.
Okay. I stand corrected. Anyway, 5 days, 5 glorious days, and then we got back Tuesday night, and then so I've been working for the last 3 days, and I've worked 19 hours every night, every day for the past 3 days. Plus today I worked for 6, and those days were spent on the phone, just like you were with support, listening to people talk, trying to solve problems, and I've done it so much. That I was literally having like almost a panic attack, and I needed to leave. I left a couple of times actually.
But-
I walked upstairs because I couldn't take it anymore. I'm like, I know this is not my problem, and I got to get the fuck out of here.
This is nice and empathetic for you. It's kind of your problem.
It is, but I just couldn't. I couldn't deal with it. If we were in my basement, I would have probably asked one of you guys to do that. I can't.
Bob had to call IT for his IT job.
Listen, they're just Wi-Fi cameras. I
man.
don't understand why you can't tell me how to install them.
Oh boy, I am really up Shit's Creek. I gotta.
Luckily, the problem was solved, but I could not. Apologies, fellas. I needed to. I needed to just get the fuck out of this
Thank God.
basement.
Thank God, there's a support team for my support.
Listening to someone on the phone. Funny side story. So
This better be fucking funny. I'm just telling you right now.
That's embarrassing to me, which is always funny to you. So we were on the phone last night. So it's the third night in a row we're doing these cutovers, and I'm on the phone with my architect and two people from the customer. One of whom is sharing the screen so that my architect can actually type in the commands and blah blah blah. This goes on for hours, and at one point, I was so tired that I made the mistake of sitting down on my couch rather than sitting in like my office chair. And then somebody needed to, I think you know where this is going. Somebody needed to go get something and then come back. And then we were waiting for someone to come online because we need to get access to this one particular storage array, and only they could get access to it. So I'm waiting, and no one's talking, and I fucking nodded off.
Gentle breeze.
On Hushabye Mountain.
I also feel even if you were in your office chair,
No,
that wouldn't have made that much of a difference.
I have not once ever fallen asleep in my office chair, but I was on my couch.
Wait,
and that was
wait,
my mistake.
The office chair, no one is there to see him fall asleep in, Nick.
Exactly. You've fallen asleep
Dude,
on our Zoom calls.
Hold on, are we?
fallen
Not, I
asleep
was
at
not
the-
in my office chair.
You've fallen asleep at the bar on a bar stool.
Also not in my office
with
chair.
no back.
Wait, you've fallen asleep
At the bar?
at a bar stool?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Really?
Yeah. And again, this is me admitting that. Also, in the middle of telling you an embarrassing story about myself, I would tell you if I fell asleep in my
Somebody
office
wake
chair,
Bob
but I
up.
did
It's his
not.
turn to buy around.
So I'm sitting there on a couch, and thank God Jack walked downstairs. He walked downstairs and heard, because my phone was on speaker. The phone was right there. I'm on the Zoom session.
My pants were off.
And no, that's a rookie move. Never turn your camera on, ever. So he came downstairs and
Bob doesn't know how,
he heard someone talking on the phone saying like, "What is that noise? What is that noise? Is Bob? Are you there?"
Hello?
And he came up and he tapped me on the shoulder. I was like, I'm like, yeah. So, so I quickly, and I hadn't muted my phone,
Dad,
because
before
I had
you
fallen
answer
asleep.
that call, put
Oh,
your
you were
pants
totally
on.
snoring on that
Oh,
call.
that's what
yeah.
they heard.
How long were you out for?
Probably 3 minutes, because in that time, my architect called my phone, which
Jesus,
was in my
Bob,
pocket,
again?
and I didn't hear, and was saying like, "What is that? I think that's Bob. Bob, are you there?" And thank God he had tapped me. So yeah.
they were hearing you snore?
Oh yeah, I was sawing logs. But again, I had worked for this was at the end. I'd already worked for 17 plus hours. Not that they hadn't, but I was sitting there they were doing all the work.
They were in their office chairs, though.
They were in their office
Sometimes
chairs.
when you get the big bucks, you got to work long hours.
100%. So I did have a side story for you guys. So my ex-wife went to a fundraiser this past weekend. Hang on, I'm going somewhere with this. And I guess there were a lot of
there's other people on the show.
Yeah, no, I'm aware. So I guess there was a bunch of bigwigs there, and she was performing a service from the company that she works for, and they gave her a couple of raffle tickets. She ended up winning a prize, a couple prizes actually, and she sent me a text the next day saying like, "Hey, I got this thing. Like, I'm never going to use this. Do you want it?" I'm like, so she sent me a picture, and one of the things that she got that she wanted, she gave to me,
It's a G-string.
is a very nice set. It's a decanter with the Old English D on it and a Red Wings logo with a really nice. It's really, really nice, and then a matching set of rocks glasses with the same two logos on it. Very, very cool. And she dropped it off later that day. She was on her way somewhere. She dropped it off, and then today I had to go over to her house because we were meeting with my daughter. And while she was there, she's like, "Yeah, I have this other thing if you want it." And I'm like, "What is it?" She's like, "Oh, it's a flask." I'm like, "Sweet, I could always use a flask." She's like, "Yeah, I'm never going to use this because it's probably meant more for golfing, and I rarely do that. So I wanted to show you guys
All right.
the flask that she gave me."
I was.
Jesus. That's not a flask.
Okay.
This is a half-gallon flask.
That is awesome.
It is literally 1 foot tall.
Hold it up a little.
I don't.
There
I'll put it
There-
right next to my head.
you go.
I have a pretty big, the giant melon, so I'm not sure this is really accurate. But if I hold it next to Nick's head, it'll give you some.
Well, Nick's got
idea.
a pretty big head.
So yeah,
That's
so
very
you
true.
could literally empty almost an entire fifth of vodka into this flask. I don't know if we were going on the river where I would put it. It's almost bigger than any.
The
cooler I
river
own.
is what you. Where are you going to put it in normal everyday life? Is what
This would fit in a. It would fit in a.
Sir, this metal detector is really going off. Nothing, guys.
It is
nothing.
the biggest goddamn flask I've ever seen in my life. I don't know why it was up for auction or for raffle, but it would probably fit in a golf bag. Probably.
Oh, well.
That's the only place I
yeah,
can think of it.
Yeah, it would, but, I mean. Jesus.
Actually,
Yeah. Are you?
If I would be proud to pull this out of my golf bag.
Would you?
as long as it was full.
Yeah. Oh, it'd have to be.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And it would be so heavy if it was full.
So what I'm
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
is just filling that up with water and taking it to work, and just putting it on the desk.
You want to do that?
Yeah, because Bob can't because he works from home.
Yeah.
So
Cory, the boss, wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
My desk is right outside of her office.
It's hard
too,
to drink.
so-
It's hard to drink from this flask when you're asleep.
yeah, that's true.
So anyway, that's my story.
That's a
wouldn't
very
mind
impressive
breaking
flask.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind breaking that out in front of my boss.
Yeah.
Send him a concentric, get his blood alcohol.
How are you guys? I've been monopolizing the mic.
Oh, you have? No.
We haven't noticed.
I have.
And
I
another
personally
thing.
don't mind. I personally don't mind, Bob.
I know you didn't. Zeke.
Who the fuck invited you over here? That's what I want to know.
Do you want me to tell the story of how I found out he was coming?
If you want to,
It was
Or
it was
is
a
it-
typical Cory move where he's like, "Hey, surprise guest of the podcast tonight, fellas."
it was right after I asked you if you
and
wanted
then
to be on the show.
crickets. Nothing. Like clearly he wasn't.
I seen
Like-
more enthusiasm in his text message tonight than I've ever seen in 12 plus years of friendship with Cory.
Yeah.
Like everything was in all caps. Like, really sweet.
After he
really?
said that he would be on the show. Yeah.
Okay. Was it your idea to invite him, or
Yeah.
did he reach out like, "Hey"?
Well,
Yeah,
Really,
that podcast-
really,
I mean-
really.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, oh yeah, Zeke reached out to me to do something.
I don't
Yeah,
ever talk
that'll-
to Zeke, so I
that'll
don't
be the
know.
day.
well, he probably wouldn't have reached out today if I didn't reach out to him yesterday.
Well, it's fair.
That was
I mean, if we're
only
being-
that was
we're being
only
totally
to
honest.
show me the wedding card that you did not give us.
Yes, it's been in my car.
Until,
you bought it
until
3 months
today.
ago.
You bought it yesterday?
Until
No.
today.
I sent him a picture of it yesterday. It's been in my car since the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure it has.
It has. It has.
Been at CVS for the last 3 months.
You have to do some carbon dating on that.
Yeah.
Just hold this card
Just
for
send
me.
it out.
Just for a
Send it
couple
out.
of months.
No, it was just sitting on the shelf with all the other ones until he selected it yesterday.
Well, we certainly appreciate you stepping up and joining us tonight, especially because Mr. Todd Vincent Oswald Dillon is not with us tonight. Yeah, that's right.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, because he's not with us tonight. So
It was like Oswald Cobblepot.
Zeke really stepped up, and this is really infringing on his couch yawning and sleeping time.
Oh, 100%.
So I really appreciate that.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're welcome.
And it was great that we started with 1 hour of sitting here doing nothing while we
Yeah,
tried to
I
fix
could
the
have been
Wi-Fi.
outside smoking my cigar, relaxing.
Could have smoked many cigars.
I could have.
You could be. You could be.
My watch told me it was time to stand up like 5 times waiting on it.
Wait, you even have that on in your watch? I would assume the second you bought it, you're like, I'm never gonna need this. Turn it off.
No, it finally-
judges me all the time.
It finally recognized that he was actually sitting up rather than laying down. So it's like, oh shit, at least we got him sitting.
No,
it's time to try to get him to stand.
Zeke has programmed his watch to tell him when he's doing too much physical activity.
Oh, absolutely.
We've noticed that you're moving too much. Would you like to sit down? No.
Danger.
yeah.
Danger.
Your heart rate is 85.
He was actually
Take it easy.
he could have been outside having a cigar and a snifter of buttermilk ranch.
Or a giant flask of something.
Something.
the giant flask.
There you go. Fill that up with some Jets Ranch.
There you go.
Well, we
Put
should.
that,
Well,
put
we
that
should.
in the fridge.
Do you know
you
how
go.
hard it would be to clean a flask full of Jess
You know
Ranch?
what? I was actually just thinking that because before he even said that, I was like, "What if you put ranch?" in? I'm like, I would never say that because you know how hard it would be to clean that
Oh
out.
yeah, that's never coming out.
Let me just tell you how embarrassing it was to show this to Cecilia. She's like, "You can put a lot of Fireball in that." I'm like, "Oh man."
Bob, I
That
think
is-
the
that
cat's
is-
out of the bag.
that
Okay,
is
I don't think
embarrassing.
it took the giant flash.
She doesn't listen
for
to this
your
podcast.
kids to realize you
All she
realize you have a
knows-
problem.
All she knows is that every week I'm buying a handle of Fireball.
My 50s-year-old father is drinking uncontrollably with his friends.
I'm like, come on, Cecilia.
you
you're
know,
not gonna
Dad,
clean-
I wasn't gonna say anything until you got the giant flask.
You're not going to clean a flask full of sticky Fireball every week. That's not going to happen.
Imagine if you took the giant flask down on the giant Belle Isle slide.
Oh,
It's too slow.
it'd be
now.
dented. It'd definitely be dented.
Speaking of which,
Yes, sir.
have you guys been up to date on the giant slide videos?
I
You
have.
are so lucky. I have a secondary booze news lined up because that was my first one.
Well, let's,
for the Giants. I don't have any news
let's-
on it. You can
let's-
tell your
let's
story.
hold on. Yeah, let's go right into it, Cory.
And now it's time for booze news.
I'm gonna. So Dave doesn't listen to the podcast, and that may be the first time that he's ever heard that drop. And now I'm really excited to play every other drop we have. Everything,
Jesus.
even if we're not doing the segment. So, Cory, I'll defer to you on this one, especially since you just put a dip in.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to look it up. No, there's this huge fucking slide they have at Belle Isle. That's
Okay,
apparently
let's for people who are out of Nova Scotia or perhaps Beijing, listening to us, give them a little background.
Belle Isle is a park, if you will.
Sure. Island.
In Detroit. Used to be a very, it was an attractive spot to a lot of people in the city.
It's very affluent, yeah.
And over the years, it's kind of gone downhill, very, very downhill. And now there's a resurgence, and it's kind of...
It's coming back.
It's a bit of a spot again.
Yeah.
So on Belle Isle, they've my dad when we were younger has taken us to Belle. I'm just giving an idea of what Belle Isle is.
For his news story, awesome.
It's an entire island that's like a state park, and it's got a huge aquarium on it. And in the wintertime, they have a giant pole that they shoot water out of, and it turns into like this Christmas tree of solid ice that's like 30 feet tall. There's deer and all kinds of animals you can feed and stuff. It's really cool. At least
it's also home to the Detroit Yacht Club.
Yeah,
that does like dragon races around the island every.
When I was
summer.
and the IndyCar series, didn't they do Belle Isle?
They did. They did
Last year.
Detroit. What the fuck was it? It was
the Grand Prix.
Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Detroit Grand Prix. Yep.
They do it all the time, every year.
We actually
last year. Last year on Belle Isle.
Did they do it last year?
No, I'm saying it is the last year on Belle Isle.
Oh, this year's the last
it,
one?
Yeah, they're moving it to downtown.
Okay.
But anyhow, so I'm sorry, Cory. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. No, as a matter of fact, and we did the color on there too.
Yes, we did. Yeah, that was
I don't
several years ago.
I don't see the world in color, but
well, then you would have hated this evening because
It's very colorful.
yeah.
No, but apparently there's been this huge slide that's always been on Belle Isle, and I don't know the entire background of why it has kind of come and gone. But apparently this year they have reopened it and made some adjustments to it. Mm-hmm. So
well, they needed to.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's old as shit, but
if you go to any state fair or any sort of fairground, you'll see a slide that is
like the potato sack.
It's plastic, right? The potato sack slide.
The carny potato sack slide.
Right. This slide is a little bit different.
They have all the little like the
rollers,
the multicolor, but they have the little friction nodules on the slide. So because you're going fast, but I would assume that these little nodules that are built into the plastic,
you're not really going super fast.
Slow you down enough because it's you're 5 stories up.
Not on Belle Isle.
Cory, what does the giant slide look like?
I've seen some videos.
Well, first of all, it looks like it's made out of solid steel.
It sounded like it too.
Yeah.
So it's probably hot as fuck.
Yeah, remember those old steel shiny slides that
burn your ass off,
burn your ass cheeks when you were
I
younger?
was a child.
Exactly.
They're no longer. Nick never slid on one because they were gone.
Oh, okay. Well, how do I remember them?
You saw pictures. So yeah, this is a completely metal slide.
This is
probably 4 humps that you got to go over.
Yeah,
but it kind of seems like everyone you pick up a little bit of speed.
Keep talking about the humps.
And it seemed like I'm stealing your thunder, probably.
No, I continue with your thought. I don't know what the rest of your thought was.
Just from the videos I'd seen, it seemed like you pick up speed at a pretty good clip from the minute you
people were fucking flying on it.
Yeah, airborne.
They were interviewed. They actually had to shut it down for a day to make adjustments.
Yeah,
because people were going so fast on it. And there was a couple. They interviewed some kids that had just wrote it, and the one kid just goes, "I thought I was going to die."
This was going to be
Cory,
one of my headlines for night tonight, where one of the quotes was the title of the headline is "Detroit Giant Slide Reopens to the Brave and Curious." Quote, "It hurt." Was the
review. So just so you guys are aware. So do you know the adjustments they made?
No, I'm
okay. So
you're going to tell us. Yes.
Yeah,
well, I didn't know. I didn't want to step on your toes. If you knew, then, yeah. So the adjustments they made were to re-add wax to the slide, because the fresh wax would slow people down, not knowing that the bums and asses going down it would smooth and shine that wax up and make you go even faster than from before.
So it's like the Clark Griswold effect.
It's like, the surfboard? Yeah, let's add a little wax to it. That'll slow us down in the water. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
By the time you got to that last bump, and you're airborne. You're landing on solid steel with your.
Oh, they were landing on solid steel from the second bump. It was shooting people into the air.
But the last one, the amount of air these people got.
Cory, I'm surprised you don't have the Giant Slide rap song themed up for the show.
Is there a rap song for it?
I'm surprised there is one.
Look up Giant Slide. This guy just made a Giant Slide rap song, and it is fucking hysterical because this actually made national news. All over on TV, they're talking about, and we look like a bunch of fucking ghetto idiots in Detroit because we got this giant
Can't
slide.
even get a slide right.
We got this giant, because every other slide is like multicolored and playful looking, and the Detroit slide is like this. We fashioned this out of fucking tin snips and large pieces of fucking aluminum. Like it is. I can only imagine in a 90
like we pirated like a construction site.
Yeah,
to make this.
like 90-degree heat. Yeah, play the giant
show the
slide.
video?
Well, I'm very sure he doesn't have this copyrighted, so I think we should be okay.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a video, but oh yeah, because of the giant slide video. Okay.
All right, let's see.
Well, stop playing with these niggas.
Ooh.
So it's just the song, not a video.
Come on, man. Y'all ready? Get it. Hey, you can break your back on the giant slide. You can even break your neck on the giant slide. You can even bump your head on the giant slide. And watch your hands and your legs on the giant slide. It's like jumping off a roof on the giant slide. Man, you can lose a tooth on the giant slide. It ain't much you can do on the giant slide. What's going on with this new fucking giant Kids slide? Was getting on my nerves, so I sent them to the giant slide. Hold on, baby, it's about to be a giant soon ride. As you go down, baby, it's about to be a lot of fun. Man, I don't know what happened, all I heard was a lot of crime. This ain't the same giant slide we got on as children. This new slide looking like they jumping off of a building. This new slide, you gotta take a Tylenol to get on. If your kids getting on your nerves, make them get on. Getting on your nerves, so you make them get back on. This new giant slide break necks and backbones. Then you just lay the kids down soon as you get back home. Let my kids get on once and they ain't wanna get back on. Hey, you can break your back on the giant slide. You can even break your neck on the giant slide. You can even bump your head on the giant slide. Then watch your hands and your legs on the giant slide. It's like jumping off a roof on the giant slide. Man,
You can lose a tooth
on the giant slide. It ain't much you could do on the giant slide. What's going on with this new fucking giant slide?
What?
On the giant slide.
J Mac Cash.
Well, that's the shit, man. You better believe after the show we're gonna be dancing to that.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
It's such a great song.
That's a damn
is
good
there-
fucking tune.
We spent a lot of time here. Is there any kind of video we could show with video of the slide?
Oh, I'm sure
Oh,
we can
dude,
find something.
they were-
That won't get thrown off
Oh,
of
they're
YouTube.
all over.
No, on
TikTok.
the YouTube video I was watching with this, it just showed these people just being launched
Yeah,
off this
I
slide.
think we've built it up enough.
They are all
it'd be
over
a disservice
TikTok.
if we didn't show footage of the slide.
TikTok is loaded with them, flooded with them.
A summer evening in Detroit.
Yeah,
We're not
I'm
gonna
good
play
with
that.
G-Mac Cash, to be honest with you.
Dude, that
But rhyming roof and tooth, well done, sir. well played.
It make you feel like you fell off a building. That's what he said.
Okay, man. Now we're gonna need you to just record something that we're gonna loop over and over again, where you just say the word giant slide. So if you could just,
But I love
Just do that.
I love Detroiters because any one of us would have been like, oh, that horrible slide on Belle Isle. That'd be the giant slide. You got to watch out for that. I swear to God to you, there's this girl I work with, nice as can be. But she is from Detroit, and I said to her, so you going on that giant slide this weekend? She said, hell no, I ain't going on that damn giant slide. I took my kids there a couple weeks ago. We almost killed ourselves.
so you called it the giant slide?
Well, because I heard it. I knew
You
she
heard the
would.
G-Mac song.
I knew she
The
would
G-Mac
know
Cash song.
exactly what if I would have said, "Are you going to that slide this weekend?" She'd be like, "What are you talking about?" But I was like,
that sizable slide.
I said, you hitting up that giant slide this week? She's like,
No,
fuck
you
no,
mean the
I ain't going to that
giant
damn slide. That she's like, I almost killed myself on that. See, it's much faster. When I was younger, that's a different slide because I used to go down that.
That's a good point. That is a slide that people would have gotten on in 1973 and not complained.
Yes.
They'd have
Right.
been like, that's a great slide.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And kept going
Yep.
multiple times.
Fucking soft kids nowadays. I'm telling you. All right. We got to hear, Cory?
we got it. So here's some older, well, actually not older footage, brand new footage from Channel 4. Channel 4, yes.
Looks that way.
Was it a bumpy ride?
Today has been really the talk of the internet for the past week. The bumpy start for Belle Isle's giant slide. It inspired memes, rap songs, and it even brought the Today Show to Detroit this morning. It reopened today with some to the ride. Korea Man joins us now.
It's
live
like
from
5
Belle Isle.
stories.
Korea, I know you've been there all day. How was it?
Oh, Sandra, it was amazing. I even took a ride myself. I like how
No, you
you
didn't,
started
Priya.
out by
Did
saying
they
it was a
tape a
bumpy
piece of paper
start
that
to
says
the
Channel
giant
4 to her
slide.
shirt?
Of course, these are those burlap sacks that you got to wear when, you're going down that big metal slide.
I love how she's explaining it
huge
like no
line
one's ever
today
slid
as it
down a
finally
burlap
reopened.
sack
Take a look
slide
at what
before.
we saw throughout the day today. Tons of families were here taking their chance going down the slide, having a blast.
Oh,
of
he's
course,
going
the
airborne
giant
for
slide
sure.
opened last weekend, but it
Oh,
quickly
that kid?
closed
Yeah,
when
for sure. Here it
riders were
goes.
seen going too fast and bouncing
no,
a
he
bit
was
too
terrible.
high on their way down.
Must have some
Videos
rocks in his
went
pockets.
viral, racking up millions of views. So after having to close today, the Michigan Department of Natural Resources.
This is nothing. People are going sideways.
Oh, there we go.
That was even nothing.
Increased friction.
The ones I
and
saw
slow
were
riders down
insane.
their
Yeah,
These
the,
are-
one, the
these
ones
are
on
tame.
TikTok.
Lean
Yeah, the ones on
forward as they're
TikTok have them
down
like
the
going
slide.
crazy.
Folks, we talked to listen, especially to those who are reminiscing about being here decades
lost
ago.
As a kid, I used to be down here all the time, just on the slide. So it brings back a lot of memories.
What do you make of the hype
I'm surprised.
and people going airborne and everything?
Well, you know what? It's better than what it was when I was growing up. And I seen the incidents that you had on the TV. It's a lot better than what it was in the past.
It's better.
She can't
Now,
remember
of
anything
course,
from
the
back
giant
then.
slide here on Belle Isle runs from 11 to 3, Friday, Saturday.
right, we don't need to
Sunday.
know
They're
that.
yeah, they are not
Weekends,
showing any of
so
the
I see
good
some
the
folks
good
are still
footage.
walking
They're
up.
people are almost launching from hump to hump, like
Yeah.
through the air and just racking their heads and I mean, this is nothing. Oh my god, it was so funny. Some of the
Giant
videos.
slide.
So when are we going?
Seriously.
When are we going? I'm good.
But it was funny
I'm
because
good.
they did so the DNR runs the park apparently now, and one of the DNR officers was like, we tell everyone going down that you have to lean forward. If you do not lean forward, you will fly through the air. and he's like, watch. And he leaned forward with the sack and he went down just fine. And he's like, people lean back and they go fucking flying. You know?
All right. So since we're still on booze news, Corey, I sent you a picture for an article I wanted to talk about.
Oh, yes.
So there is, I wasn't aware of this, but in Halifax, Nova Scotia, there is a festival called the Halifax Oyster Festival. And there is a mascot for this festival named Pearl. And we're going to show you a picture right here.
There is Pearl.
Yeah. So that
There we go.
that is a fucking terrifying picture. She's the size of a human being. That's obviously a real person in the costume.
Yeah, you can see her face.
13 eyes, and I'm just quoting this BuzzFeed news article here. Inexplicably luscious lips. She seems to be in a cheery mood, using her human arms to give a double thumbs up to express her happiness at haunting your dreams.
I don't know what's creepier, everything going on or her face right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You can see her face right in the middle. See it? See her smiling right in the middle?
It's kind of hidden.
What?
You can't see her face right in the middle.
No.
Look where the cursor's at. Look where the mouse is.
Where's the mouse?
Look where the mouse is. Move your mouse.
Oh,
That's her
that is-
face
oh!
right there.
Oh my God.
Right there?
Yes.
That's even freakier now because I
Right.
hadn't noticed that. Why did your eye go right to that?
I don't know. I just seen something smiling. I wasn't
Jesus
sure what it was.
Christ, that is fucking terrifying.
Zeke sees a mouth. He goes right for it. Notice how he picked that tiny little mouth out, too, rather than
Yes,
that big one at
he
the very
did.
bottom of the...
He absolutely did.
Gross.
So the Halifax's weekly newspaper, The Coast, has claimed ownership of this mascot. They've been putting on the Oyster Festival since 2017. There was a 2-year hiatus with the pandemic, but I guess they first came up with the idea to honor the area's delicious seafood. They wanted a mascot they could put on merchandise, and someone said, well, someone needs to sketch up a human oyster, and they gave it the thumbs up, and now you can buy T-shirts with this image on it, and I'm not gonna lie, I want to buy one for you, Dave.
Oh, that's too thoughtful, Bob. You can't. I wouldn't be able to accept something like that.
No, you could, and you should wear it. I will call you weekly to make sure that you are wearing it.
I'll wear it down the slide.
The costume has proved a hit at festivals over the years. In between sampling oysters from across Canada, participating in shucking competitions, and enjoying cooking demonstrations and live music, patrons love to spit in Mother Nature's face by taking photos with Pearl.
Sounds gross.
Oh, dude, there's an even more disgusting. How quickly would you be able to show this if I sent it to you, this picture, Corey?
I mean, if the internet holds up, well,
yeah, we'll see.
All
right.
That's a low blow.
That's funny. Well, while we're waiting for Bob and Corey to surf the web and send text messages on an audio podcast, let's go ahead and take this shot.
It's always his fallback.
Yeah.
It's an audio podcast.
Yeah, I mean, let's do that. Let's look things up, read articles. Come on.
He's putting the podcast first. Got to respect that.
Always.
Got to respect that.
Just an easy fallback.
So, you and I are just cogs in a wheel, Corey.
You know, if you guys have not listened to our show before, we do shots. If you have something handy, grab one. If you want to do some coffee, then that's you. So, cheers.
Yeah. That's a horrible idea, but okay.
Cheers. It could be daytime. Maybe it's time to do coffee.
It might be.
Oh, God.
Although I think if you look at our at our stats, no one is listening to us before noon. Absolutely no one.
Well, I don't see any time-stamped stats.
Yeah, I was sending them weekly.
No, I didn't see anything where people were at what times people were listening to us.
Oh, maybe that's one of the stats that is too depressing for me to send every week.
Just for yourself. These are the stats that I look at by myself.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so how far along are we here, Corey?
37 minutes.
37 minutes? Let me just do, okay, since I prepared this, prepared this. So for news for today, just a couple, thought we'd do a little celebrity deaths from this year thus far. This is just in the last 2 months. Len Dawson.
Yep. Fucking Len.
Tom Weiskopf.
Lenny and Tom.
He won like 15 PGA titles, designed shitloads of golf courses. Corey, you play golf? Come on.
No, I've been on a golf course with the equipment.
All right, so let's move past some of the sports figures that no one will know.
Yeah, this is very impressive.
Anne Heche.
Yeah,
I know about her. She was a fiery one.
Easy. Too soon. Too soon.
Yikes. Olivia Newton-John passed away.
Xanadu.
Yes. This is interesting to me. So your mind goes immediately to Xanadu
instead of Grease, yeah.
Or yeah.
He's never seen Grease.
Or instead of Getting Physical.
Oh, he's seen Grease.
Yes.
Yes, that's where it goes.
So you've seen Xanadu?
No.
So why does your mind go to Xanadu?
Because I know what she does.
The song?
No, there was an episode of Friends.
Okay, all comes
where
back
they're
to
like,
Friends.
where they got a new TV and she's like, oh, someone's got to get you lazy.
Oh, if you guys want to know about that episode, go watch it.
But they're like someone's got to get you. They just got a new TV in these Lazy Boys, and she's like, someone's got to get you. Phoebe's like, someone's got to get you Lazy Boys out of these. You've been sitting in these for 3 days, and all of a sudden you hear like, she's like, oh, Xanadu, and she sits down, and then she's like, oh yeah, we got her.
I love how
thank God for that.
Me sending you a picture to follow up on a news article that I'm actively telling is a waste of time, but that story had to be told.
You are searching the internet and expecting people
to
get.
I had it right there. There's no internet searching.
Like, hey, so how long will it take for you to get a text message? Well, I don't know. It depends how long you're. I'm sorry, that is not interesting.
Goddamn internet.
Yeah.
Nichelle Nichols from Star Trek, who played Lieutenant Uhura, passed away.
Do you know they're sending her ashes to space?
I fucking hope they do.
They are. She requested it.
Didn't they send Leonard Nimoy's ashes to space?
It's not all about him. I'm talking about her. She just died. They're sending her ashes to space.
Moving on. Tony Dow died from Leave It to Beaver, which I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with. He played Wally.
Yeah, when I was going down that big shiny slide, I was watching that.
Paul Sorvino passed away from Goodfellas fame. He was Paulie. Ivana Trump, who I thought I read a story, or maybe glanced at a story, I have no idea if it's actually true or not that she was buried in one of Trump's golf courses.
Dude, come on.
False. Nothing. Nobody.
No idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Only what
I
I
don't
heard.
know.
Didn't even know.
Tony
I
Sirico.
would say, yeah,
from-
wait, hang on.
yeah.
What's the relationship?
To Trump?
Ivana
Yeah.
Trump?
His mother.
Well, his wife before, one of his wives before the current wife.
Okay.
Right. Not his mother.
Don
Oh, I
Jr.
thought it was his mom.
Whose mom?
I thought it was the Donald's mom.
No, it was his wife.
Oh, his ex-wife. Okay.
One of his ex-wives. Yeah.
one.
Oh, I don't know why
Don-
that's so funny. I'm not up on my Trump
Not his,
info. I'm
not
sorry.
his current, not his
Don-
current wife.
No.
His two boys, Don Jr. and Eric, that's their
mother. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might even be Ivanka's. Well, it probably is, given the name.
Very
Ivanka's
big.
mother.
Very big funeral. It's going to be amazing. Going to be great. Best funeral ever. We're going to bury her under the course.
Any of you guys watch Sopranos?
Of course.
Tony Sirico, Paulie Walnuts passed away.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In July.
There's like a lot of mafia movie actors and series actors.
There were two that we named.
Yeah.
That is a pattern. That is a pattern.
There's
I'm not sure what it means,
there's
but
an even bigger name that you haven't mentioned yet.
James Caan.
Even bigger than that.
So I'm only going back to July 1st of this year. So
I was going to say Betty White.
if they passed away in 2022 before
don't make
July
fun of
1st,
Betty.
I'm not.
Betty's
naming
awesome.
We do not make fun of Betty.
Betty's
it. Go ahead.
When did Ray Liotta die?
That's a great point. It had to be before July. It had to be.
Was it that? It was already that long ago.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know.
I would say so.
Yeah, you were a little bit busy getting married and whatnot,
True,
and you
true.
might have, conflated the dates. I don't
May
know what
20
day it was.
May 26th.
May 26th.
2022.
Oh, it fell just short.
Month or so. Yeah.
A couple months, yeah.
Yeah.
Just short.
You know, there's a month
Yeah,
in
but-
between May and.
No,
But
no.
now you're lending credence to Nick's argument that someone is knocking off, let's say, or poisoning perhaps mafioso actors. Yeah.
Oh, you want to make funny movies about us? Huh? We got you in 30 years.
Yeah, I was just saying. It
Hold
took
on.
a little bit.
Hold on. Who are you imitating?
Don't worry
right now?
about it.
No, tell me.
No.
You don't know.
It's just
It's a
mafia
character
guy.
from a movie that you've never seen.
How is it? From a movie I've never seen.
I think
I'm
'cause
brilliant.
You're just doing a pop culture reference to a mafia character.
So it was kind of a mix.
Have either of us given him The Godfather yet?
No.
Yes.
The Godfather?
Yes.
What's The Godfather about?
Remember we talked about the whole jaw implant thing that he had to put in his mouth? Like,
Jaw implant?
yeah.
Wait, have you never seen The Godfather?
I don't think so.
Not before they gave it to me.
You've never seen The
I
Godfather?
honestly don't.
Dude.
Hold on.
Lead actor's
pull up
name.
the record.
What's the lead actor?
Marlon
name?
Brando.
Brando had to put. Listen.
What you
Don't help
you
him
say
out.
it. You say it,
listen.
and now he knows it.
Okay, did he not have to wear a
You might be
jaw
right.
implant,
I'm looking.
implant in his mouth during the scene? Because
My apologies.
yes, thank you.
It-
He's not even
September-
confirming what I'm saying.
No, I
he's
am.
just
I
looking.
am.
He's just looking on the list to see if he's giving it to me.
I did. September 25th,
Look up-
2021. You
Look
did
up
watch.
without having a pause in this audio show.
Oh, now you want me to surf the internet and pull up facts.
Not talk about things and be dead silent while you're surfing the internet. But if you could look it up while we're still talking, there is a piece of like jaw that he put like in his
It's just cotton balls.
shut up. No. During
That would
his
set it off.
during
Set it
his what do they call it with actors? They go and get a rehearsal or whatever the fuck they do. What do they try out for a part?
Audition?
Yes, thank you.
I just want to
Jesus Christ.
let him keep going. I want to
So,
hear what he has to say.
During
They rehearse for the
during Marlon Brando's audition, he apparently stuffed some shit in his mouth.
Paper.
And
I mean, that's here. He stuffed paper in his mouth.
okay. Well, apparently, if you knew all this at the time, you should have spoke up a little earlier. So,
Wow.
Okay,
he's-
I've got it from the director.
yeah, he put this in his mouth, and he
No,
wanted to have
hold-
it. Okay,
No, hold on. The director says,
not a finger wagging until this happened.
no, it's a great question. I thought I knew the answer.
It's not a
but,
question. I'm telling you what happened.
Well,
Very confidently.
I'm going to
Apparently.
correct you then. The director says that Brando stuffed his mouth with Kleenex and smeared shoe polish in his hair to transform into Don Vito Corleone.
That was close.
Once the studio saw the tape, he was given the role, and he won an Academy Award for it. But before they saw the tape, he was unhireable. No
Yep.
one
Correct.
wanted him at all.
Really?
Yep.
There was no. So it's a great question. I'm happy that you saw it because I had
No.
forgotten that I give it
look,
to you.
Look up The mouth.
want me to-
they
okay.
made him a mouth implant after because they loved that so much that he wasn't going to have cotton in his mouth the whole movie. They made an implant. There's actually a photo of it that you can look at.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll keep talking because it's an audio show. And we're not just going to Google things, right? And be dead silent because that doesn't make any sense. As they both look at me like they're trying to crack a fucking safe.
I don't think there's been any silence since this started.
No, really hasn't.
I don't-
Well, and there
I don't
shouldn't be.
Believe there has.
There shouldn't be.
Has there?
Look at this guy.
Bob's been pretty vocal.
Look at fucking Wooly Willy over here.
I
saying nothing.
literally
Bob's been very
apologize
vocal.
for
Blinking
taking
at
over
me.
the whole podcast.
Huh. What do you know?
Okay, it's not a jaw prosthetic, but it is a dental prosthetic that he did for the screen test to make him look like a bulldog.
Mm-hmm. And
He didn't wear it in the
Interesting.
movie.
What did he wear in the movie? Kleenex? No, this is a dental prosthetic that he put in his mouth.
Well, it's
during
just
the movie.
not a jaw prosthetic, but I get what you're saying.
Oh,
I'll
I'm
give it
sorry.
to
They
you.
didn't remove his jaw and put in a fucking. I misspoke. How stupid do I feel?
I'm just looking up what you told me to look up, man.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a little bit.
So he had something in his mouth that gave him that,
Yeah, that saggy jowls. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep.
But isn't that super cool knowledge to know? Like, I mean, doesn't he look like a completely different guy?
Hats off to you. I am not mad in
Don't
any
you
way.
hate when he's right though?
No.
Yeah,
This, but
you
this,
don't? I
no,
do.
hold
It's
on,
about
hold on.
movies, so Bob's very happy.
I'm super excited that has any interest in this movie at all. And this is a movie he saw over a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's
No,
sad.
And you
it's
see on the left,
No,
he's
it's
like
pretty amazing.
He's like this handsome looking younger dude, and on
he
the
was
right,
a handsome motherfucker.
and on
back
the
in
right,
day.
he is this war fucking criminal. Like, I mean, he looks like he's seen some time.
Yeah.
So what did you think of it then?
I thought it was amazing.
Did you watch all three of them or just? The
Oh
first
no,
one?
just the first one.
Just the one.
Oh, God.
I'm sure there was a plan to try to see if he liked it, and then if he did, assign the second one to him. But all those things kind of come in cycles where you have to kind of you have to know your audience, right? Sometimes Nick's in the mood for a Western. Sometimes, we get on different tangents where if I assign him The Godfather, and then the next week, like Cory picks his name, and Cory goes like, "Oh, I'm going to make you watch a Pauly Shore movie," then
He loves Pauly Shore.
I
by
have
the
to
way.
go like, okay, how can I follow up a Pauly Shore movie? Do I really want to give him Godfather Part 2, or should I give him something that's a little bit more, you know what I mean, like Analyze
Fair
This, or something that's a little bit more
Good movie.
lighthearted,
Good movie.
Godfather's very, it's a heavy movie.
Oh yeah.
So-
Oh, yeah.
Zeke, I made the mistake one time of saying that I enjoyed in the 90s watching In the Army Now.
You did.
In the 90s, which I would have been a child. And he was like, "Oh, I see you're in the Army now. And 2022, I'm gonna sign you Biodome." And I'm like, okay. One of the worst things I've ever seen in my fucking life.
I've still got son-in-law in the hopper.
Yes, he does.
So again, you just recently seen Biodome?
Because he assigned it to me.
Oh,
when did you watch Biodome?
Zeke, those are
Such a
movies.
great- such a great
those are
movie.
those are movies that I'm sure were awesome at the time.
No, they're
And-
still
No. It does not count if you're rewatching them after seeing them during the current time. Because it's like Jurassic Park. You're like, oh my God, Jurassic Park was a
So that's a great example. So this is 2 years ago, right? 2020, October.
Yeah.
I gave him American Werewolf in London. The next week, Cory goes, "You know what? I think you need to watch Biodome." And then after that, I pulled him, and I'm like, okay, so he didn't like it so much that I'm like, how can I bring him back out of the depths of despair? And I gave him The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Oh, yes.
Which was and I didn't know, I think at that point, oh no, that's not true. I'd given him like Fistful of Dollars, and so that was the third in the Man with No Name trilogy that I gave him. So I think I knew it was a home run, and so I'm like, this is just what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Clearly you were in the doldrums, you're down in the dumps, down in the mouth after having watched Biodome. I got to give you something that's going to be more of a home run. So let's just go with another Western, the third of the trilogy you haven't seen yet.
I loved it.
And that's what we did. And then Cory came in the next week with Dark Side of the Ring.
No, that was awesome.
like that.
That was amazing.
Oh, you like that? Okay.
I like that.
All right. I
But
I don't know why I
several
thought he
weeks
didn't like
later,
that.
if not months, Cory gave me Caddyshack.
Well, no. Let's just go through some of the. This is actually interesting. So you got,
What's wrong with Caddyshack?
I'm
in
sorry.
the next few weeks. You got Bad Moms Christmas, and then back to back next week. Right after that, you got Jingle Jangle.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Todd gave me fucking Jingle Jangle.
I don't even know what
Right,
Jingle
but then
Jangle is.
he had a good.
Sorry, Todd.
It's. I haven't seen it either, and hopefully I
Oh
never
my
will.
god. So horrible.
But he had a good January back in 2021. He got Goodfellas and he got Raging Bull. He also got This Is the End. I can't remember if he liked that or not. But then he had a down April where he got Pink Panther, which he hated, and then right after that he got Jury Duty
from the 60s.
and then but then I gave him so again I'm like, he fucking hated that, so how can I bring? So I gave him Training Day.
So
spot on. He liked Training Day as I recall. Dude,
none of these movies that you're saying he had ever seen.
Zeke, I can't be assigned a movie if I've seen it before.
Yeah,
buddy.
So
and it's historically known that I love movies. I've seen no movies. Zero.
I love so many movies. Never seen them.
You can keep asking.
I love the idea of seeing them.
You can ask.
I won't see them though.
Jesus.
1, 2, and 3 times, because usually the third time people have to ask 3 times. Have you seen Star Wars? You haven't seen Star Wars? Oh my God, you haven't seen? I can't believe you've never seen Star Wars. It's like a 3.
Dave, I'm going to text you the list of the movies he's watched from. It goes back to May of 2020.
Guess what?
It is an impressive list, and I've given you credit for, like, look at all these movies you watch, man. This is pretty impressive. And
I'm a big boy.
2 years ago, like, you hadn't seen shit, and now you've seen a lot of movies.
Well, yeah, I have to. But
no, you don't. In fact, if we did Gentleman's Agreement tonight, you would not be able to participate because you didn't watch your movie. It doesn't mean that you're going to watch every time, and it doesn't mean you're going to like it. But
I know.
I
I'm
think
saying,
it's a feather in your cap that you've actually watched all this shit.
Okay, well, the feather in my cap needs to be taken out and dipped into some fucking ink and written down that Caddyshack sucked.
Oh yeah, no, it's on the internet forever.
It sucked.
It's on the internet forever.
It doesn't date well.
It does, but
if you've never seen it when it came out, it does. A fucking stuffed animal groundhog running around in the fucking.
Yeah.
That's not funny. That's not funny at all.
It's fucking hilarious.
It was funny in '89.
Bill Murray.
Now,
how is Bill Murray not aged? Well, I don't get that.
Bill Murray is amazing. That was horrible.
Isn't it fascinating? It is utterly fascinating to me how you could watch a movie like that and not. But at the same time, I understand it. Like, it's not for everybody.
But you're also.
I get that there's shit that I saw when it first came out that now, like 20 or 30 years later, it might be tough to like suspend disbelief and go like,
exactly.
oh, okay, Star Wars, and people, you've seen like.
Your whole
fucking
testimony
Avatar,
can be thrown out
Avatar and all
because-
that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not impressed by Star Wars because I've seen Avatar.
I
understand.
I want you to get on board with me with a fucking hokey, cheesy 80s movie that you never saw in the 80s, and I want you to watch it fresh right now and tell me how great it is.
I never saw it in the. I never saw it in the 80s either, though.
You probably grew up with someone showing you that movie. When did you see it?
Yeah, that's a
last
good
year?
question.
No.
When did you see it?
Probably.
If it's Cory, and I know Cory always has to be on top, he's gonna be like, 2 years ago.
Well, when were you 16 years old? It was probably around that.
2007.
Stop with the fucking age math.
Cory doesn't. Cory, it's under.
like age math.
Listen, it's understood on the podcast that Cory does not do well with age math.
When were you born? I'll do it for you.
87.
87. So that's
13.
2003.
Oh. Yeah, no, it was probably a little earlier than that.
If you ever want to
you were 16 in 2003.
I know,
That's
but-
age math.
I know. Well, yes, age math good, but
Age
I'm saying as
math-
far
age
as
math good. Yeah.
when I saw Caddyshack, it was probably
age math good.
I was probably like 14 at Mary
That's
Gatto's
2001.
Mary Gatto's house. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? There's a lot of stuff at 14 that I watched and I would never watch as an adult.
No, I mean I get it. I watched Old School the other day for the first time in years.
But you'd seen it before.
Of course.
Okay.
Old School I like.
Old School, I did too. I mean, a great movie. But I remember laughing my ass off a lot more
And now not so
years
much.
ago. No, I mean, I chuckled a couple times, but
Yeah.
But you also know what's coming.
Yeah.
So,
You also
I
know
guess
what's
I
coming.
can get it.
But I
That's
can't.
true.
I can't say.
Caddyshack is a phenomenal movie.
No, it's not. I cannot say things are dated because some things translate and some don't. Because this guy will give me black and white films from fucking the guy standing behind you right there. and I will think they're the most amazing films in the fucking world. So,
but if I gave him a Charlie Chaplin film in black and white, like he might absolutely hate it. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But that's the fun of it, right?
There's a few things we know about Cory. He doesn't like subtitles.
Hates subtitles.
Who does?
He's not.
I don't mind
subtitles. Oh god, it's like
no.
I'm like I can't watch anything with subtitles because
why?
What is wrong with your guys?
I zone right in on the subtitles. And I forget what's going on.
Now I know why I invited you.
I can't do subtitles. I can't do them. I find myself.
What kind of speed does your guys'
I'm just going to throw this out there. Are you a slow reader?
Well, I mean, I don't think I'm a slow
No, I'm
reader.
just saying. It's a legitimate, like, if you don't read very fast.
I mean, Bob, I do have
subtitles would be.
That's kind of rude.
I'm not saying it's a learning disability.
Sensitive subject.
Look, I agree with you because when subtitles are on the screen, I also want to be able to see the acting. I want to be able to see their faces when they're saying it, the emotion.
Right.
And if you're focusing on the words at the bottom, sometimes it can be hard.
Yeah.
And if you're not a quick reader, then you're spending a lot of time at the bottom of the screen and not looking at their faces, and that would suck. It would ruin the movie.
Didn't affect the Bee Gees.
Yeah, but by the time you read it and then you look back up, you've already missed all emotion or.
If you don't read too fast, that's correct.
Even if you're the fastest reader in the world, you're still missing
You're
stuff.
still gonna miss.
Not a whole lot though.
I'll be honest. Listen, I'm not a fast reader by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't find them distracting. I look down and look up. That's it.
I feel the same way, but I get that you don't like it, and it's not for everybody.
Right.
And I don't give Cory movies with subtitles anymore. Not his cup of tea. So I try to cater to what.
Sure.
He does.
What
He
his
doesn't.
sweet spot is. I don't give him science fiction anymore.
He doesn't like subtitles.
I've learned my lesson.
He does not like typically most things that are popular. He wants to go the other way.
I don't know if that's true.
He refused to watch Seinfeld until we assigned it to him. Didn't like it.
Well, he doesn't like the same way you don't like subtitles. He doesn't like laugh tracks.
He does,
Gotcha.
but hold on. I would say popular because everyone talked about Lost. He's like, I have no interest in watching Lost. Friends, don't want to see Friends.
But Lost was science fiction.
Yes.
Lost was science fiction, but he's a big fan of The Office, which is very, very popular.
But he didn't know Lost was science fiction, and he still did not want to watch it.
And yet he watched like the whole first season.
And
he really only had to watch 2 episodes, and he was watching 12.
He was really mad. He was really mad about the.
No, he wasn't. He did it just to spite us.
Hey, he was really mad about the dinosaurs in the woods. Remember?
Yes,
that's where I stopped.
If there's a fucking dinosaur in the woods, I'm fucking over this shit.
I'm like a dinosaur.
Let me just explain, just for you and for anybody who's new to the podcast. When we do Gentleman's Agreement, we assign each other movies or TV shows that we think that they would like. We have to have seen them.
Sure.
We have to recommend them.
Mm-hmm.
And if they watch them and let's say it's on a streaming service they don't get and they have to pay for it, like let's say it's $4 to rent.
Sure.
And they don't like it, they can ask us for the money back.
Okay.
So you have to stand by what you're... Sure. So given that, I assigned it to him because I legitimately thought... I think Nick and I both did.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Thought he would like it.
You
Lost.
assigned Seinfeld, I assigned Lost.
I assigned him Seinfeld too. I assigned him 5 episodes.
Oh, you assigned him Seinfeld, I assigned him Lost.
Right. You assigned him Lost.
Mm-hmm.
So he only has to
hated
watch.
it anyway.
He only has to watch the equivalent of 2 hours. So if it's a 30-minute, if it's a series with 30-minute episodes, he's got to watch 4 of them.
4 of them, right.
If it's a movie, he's got to watch generally a 2-hour movie. I don't think we generally assign 3-hour movies, but so he only had to watch the first 2 episodes of Lost because they're an hour apiece, and for whatever reason, he watched the whole first season. So he watched like 7 times more than he needed to watch, despite the fact that he hated it from the very beginning. And then he came back to the podcast and gave us a review of it, which made it seem like he was blaming us for him having watched the entire. Yeah, which he didn't have to watch.
No, that's not.
He was even angrier that he had watched the whole first season.
He's like,
and had to put up with it when we were like, "Why did you watch the whole?" He's like, "Well, just this fucking show."
He goes,
No, because I just wanted you to know that that's how much I fucking don't like it. That I even went beyond what I was supposed to fucking
I
do.
hated it so much.
Yeah, seems
I
like
watched 12 episodes.
Yeah, like fuck you guys.
and there's
I'm like,
have you seen Lost?
I actually have not.
Okay, so they're on this island. So there's a point on the island where everything is pretty much normal. Their plane crashes on an island, and they have trials and tribulations. And
spoiler alert.
Yeah, and then it's 20 years old. So
it is not 20 years old.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, in the 70s, we're 30 years ago.
You know what? It's probably 15 though.
Yeah. So anyhow, there was a point in the show where some palm trees and stuff at night started falling in the woods. And they end up telling you what it is. And it is a fucked up show, and it does go sideways. But this is not the direction it went. And this is as far as he got, to where he saw the trees being felled in the woods.
T-Rex is coming through.
And
This is bullshit.
And he very Zeke. He very.
I feel like you've listened to the episode.
He very matter of factly looked me in the eye and said,
I'll just fucking tell you right now. If that was a fucking dinosaur in the fucking woods, I am done with this show.
And I'm like, and it just took, I was so taken aback. I just fucking, the air left my chest. I was like, what? A dinosaur? But then when I started thinking, when I started thinking about Lost,
was not far from that, right?
When I started thinking about Lost, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's really not that far. It's not a dinosaur, but they have
It's
some
not
really
far.
stupid shit that happens in the show. But it is a very,
But you
very,
have to, but it has to be your cup of tea.
Sure.
And it's not
Yeah.
Cory's cup of tea.
Yeah.
Lost is like a mixture of,
There's sci-fi in it. He doesn't.
Jurassic Park.
no. I want to say Lost is like, it's almost like a soap opera kind of series, because there's like beautiful people in the show, but there's also a good plot, but then there's also ridiculous things that happen that pull you in. Like if you describe them to someone, they'd never watch the show. They'd be like, that doesn't make it, like a soap opera would be like, well, we went into this cave and found this giant diamond, but it was cursed, and that's why I ended up sleeping with my sister. You know, like, it didn't make any fucking sense if you were to, but people were
Dude,
like,
I
oh
wanna
my
watch
God, I
that
have
show.
to see the next episode.
Is that on right now? Because I will be a fan.
Lost was like that. It was
Disconnect my laptop real quick on the bathroom.
Lost was very far-fetched and weird, but because there were all these beautiful people, you were like, oh, let me see what the next episode has to offer.
Hey, they were good actors. It was good writing.
That's
I
what
was
yeah.
said from the beginning. Yeah, but you know what? It's not. I just don't know why. I'm like, did you watch it just to spite me? Because you did not have to watch any of that shit.
Corey was like, he did the extra episodes like almost as like a self-flogging method to prove to us how much he hated it. Like he's like,
I hated it, and I went beyond 2 hours to 14 hours just because I hated it so much.
Hey, hold on, real quick, Corey. Did you like Jurassic Park?
We don't talk to people off mic. What?
Science
doesn't like
science
Jurassic
fiction.
Park?
Corey, that's who.
Oh my God.
Because it's a dinosaur, and dinosaurs aren't real.
Dinosaurs are very real.
So knowing that,
I don't know
you
what's
just have
worse,
to
Bob. I don't know what's
I
worse.
can tell you what's worse.
Okay.
Caddyshack?
Oh, we're not liking
Yeah,
Caddyshack?
I don't know which one of these.
Dinosaurs are real. Stuffed animal gophers going
I think-
around a fucking golf course in the
If you're
80s with
asking
big
me-
hair is not real.
I think that's worse.
Not like in Jurassic Park?
And I say that because the only thing that's preventing you from liking Jurassic Park is that you
Is an imagination.
right. You don't have a way to suspend disbelief.
Sure.
That which is really what you need to watch any movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know what's happening in the movie isn't real. This
Right.
is all pretend.
Right.
These are actors.
Right.
Dude, if Jurassic Park was like giant aliens going through the woods and stuff, I wouldn't watch it.
Do you
This
know?
is something that could happen.
Do you know why actors generally say, and it sounds very, pretentious. They say, "Oh, I don't watch any of the stuff that I'm in."
Mm-hmm.
The reason why they don't watch their own movies, or many movies for that matter, is because they know how the sausage is made.
Right.
They know how actors work.
Right.
It's like directors don't watch movies the same way you and I watch movies. They're watching movies for like, oh, the camera angles and look at the lighting. The cinematography is great. I don't like the sound though, because they know how it's made, and so they're not able to suspend disbelief because they've done it and they know the secrets behind what you're seeing. You and I aren't actors. We're not directors.
Right.
So when we watch Jurassic Park, I'm just fucking lost going like, holy shit, that's a dinosaur.
Right.
I know it's not real, but this is a movie. This is a movie that I have suspended disbelief to watch.
Chewbacca?
I just don't think Cory has that capability, and I would say between the two problems, that is worse.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'll
I would
tell you
agree
this
with that. I
right
would agree
now.
with that.
You just proved a point for me, which I want to tell you how much I appreciate
Oh,
that.
jeez.
You've asked me many times, why don't you listen to our show? And that's why. I'm like a director that doesn't, and an actor that doesn't watch his own shit.
I never thought about that before.
I know what happens. I know how the sausage is made. I don't need to watch it. I don't need to listen to it.
But I would argue with you that you do, because to not watch it or listen to it means that you are totally cool with the performance and nothing else. It can't be improved upon.
You know what I am?
You know what I mean? It's like building a countertop, and in a dark room, and then never looking at it again and go, "That's awesome."
But the thing
it's
is,
perfect.
but the
you can't do any better than that.
The countertop is something physical that I'm building. This is not something I'm building. I'm putting my life out on a pallet here, and saying, well, maybe I should go back and change these things about my life. I'm just being as real as possible. So I don't need to relook at that.
Deep. That's
deep. That's all I'm saying.
You've made some good points. You've made some valid points.
Good night, everybody.
And I can't. Should I? I feel like I can't argue with that.
You can, but
should I? Because otherwise, I think we're done. I think we're done
with the episode.
I think so.
No Jones agreement. No.
You want to do that real quick?
No TikToks. No nothing.
Oh fuck! We didn't get TikToks. Let's do that. Hold on.
Oh.
Plus, this is a theme that Zeke has not heard yet.
Here we go.
Oh, if I could even fucking find it.
This is.
God damn it!
Are you ready?
TikTok.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Tell me when you're ready, dude, because this song goes on for like another 4 minutes. No, you can just hit that button.
Yeah, we don't want dead stops, though.
Yeah, I love dead stops.
There's no TT in that at all. Like, all he just replayed, "Are you ready?"
No, I think there is. It's very, very faint.
No, it's just TikToks. That's all it says.
Really?
And it goes, "Are you ready?" TikToks. And
I'm really embarrassed for him because that's a lost opportunity. He gave you that name.
He did.
It's
we can.
You know why he's called
unforgivable.
Wait, who's called?
Cory.
No.
Todd gave him the name TT for the Tawas tortoise. So because Cory shares TikToks, he called it TT's TikToks.
I was the one that came up with the name for this segment.
I fucking love that. Todd, that is awesome.
He's like, yeah, the fucking Tawas tortoise, man.
Do you know how happy Todd's going to be to see your reaction to that? Oh, I can't even wait. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
All right, Cory.
So this first
You
one.
mean TT?
Is that Nick Swartzen?
This is Nick Swartzen and the late and great Norm Macdonald.
Oh, I love Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, and this joke's going to be for some and not for all.
Just like Norm.
Yeah, so here you go.
Hey, for the 9th consecutive year, Nick, JetBlue Airlines ranked first for satisfaction among all North American airlines. But you know what ranked least in satisfaction? 9/11 Airlines. What a terrible name for an airline. It reminds me of that tragedy. 9/11. You know? Oh, don't laugh at 9/11. I tried to tell him not to laugh. Adam. I know. I walked through blood and bones in the streets of Manhattan trying to find my brother.
Jesus.
Yeah, he was in northern Canada.
God damn, he was just on such another level.
Oh my God. His humor. Because he had the humor. Norm Macdonald, ever since he was even a young man, had the humor of like an 85-year-old man. Like the things he would say, the way he would talk, and his delivery were like an 85-year-old man's jokes. Like he would say things like "Sonny" and things like that. Hey, you listen here, Sonny.
Yeah, he
like,
loves that stuff.
That was his persona, and it was awesome. And his delivery was so deadpan; it was fucking amazing.
Well, I didn't know how you guys were going to take that one, so I should have.
I have you. That's it.
No. I have more.
Okay.
I feel like I should have ended with that one now.
No, I'll have you know that I love watching Norm Macdonald while Bob falls asleep next to me.
That sounds even worse, the way you said it. So.
It doesn't sound weird at
He
all.
specifically came over here one night to watch.
Stop. You just stopped
to watch
talking.
TV, and we came downstairs.
You're
And
not
he
helping.
sat in his own chair, and I sat in my own
that's
chair.
Good. Okay, thank you. That
And
helped.
It obviously
helps.
wasn't his office chair.
I
because
was
he fell asleep.
talking.
Exactly.
I was talking for 20 minutes
Yeah.
about how funny Norm
to
Macdonald
no one.
was,
To
and I
no
looked over, and he was he had been out, and I'm like, I have no yardstick to tell how long he had been out, and I almost got angry, and then I just looked back at Norm Macdonald and started laughing. So,
thank you, Norm Macdonald.
Saving
me even in
Thank
death.
you,
even
Norm
in death.
Macdonald, for not making me kill my friend,
who's
sleeping next to me in a separate chair.
All right, what do we got here, Cory?
All right, this is just humorous. So there you go.
Just got back from the gym.
Wow. And she still posted it.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, she did.
Well, she wanted viewers. She got it.
I think she knew what was going on.
I don't know. That seemed like a pretty genuine
her
reaction.
her reaction was
Yeah, but what girl's gonna fucking? Oh, that's great.
The things that chicks will do for views.
Oh, that's true.
these days.
That's true.
Absolutely.
All right, this is for all the dog lovers out there. Zeke, since I knew you were going to be on the show, this one's for you, buddy.
Oh, fuck this thing. Yeah.
It wasn't a dog, but did you see the one where the little kid with the kid? He's probably 7-8 years old. He's walking in the front door, and the screen door hit him. He's on the ring cam, and he's like, fuck you, bitch, fucking piece of shit, fuck you, I'll kick you. Oh, yeah.
He's 7 years old?
He's like 7-8 years old.
Okay.
Sounds like he comes from a great home.
Oh, dude, it was fucking hilarious. I gotta
right.
send that to Cory now.
This is the last one I got for you guys. So these have been pretty popular over the years. It's video of guys playing football.
Yeah,
and
it's
and there's a group of guys that do voiceovers to it.
There's a word for it.
I just
isn't
got
it?
really
It's-
tired for some reason.
It's popular. There's a word for what we're talking about, though, right?
Called voiceovers?
No.
What do those kids call these popular videos these days?
Keep going, Cory.
Viral videos?
No, this specific type of video. Voiceover over NFL players.
Saturday TV Fun House.
Never mind.
TV Fun House.
Don't fucking touch me. Keep going.
Well, it's been a while since I've seen one, and I came across this the other night, and it made me laugh like a motherfucker. So here you guys go.
These are great.
One's got a rake, and I killed a snowman.
You made a recipe, and then you invented dirt lumber.
Where's my furry friend? Oh, hey, oh, hey. I'm the best driver. I back up all the time, and it takes great effort to not swerve. And oh no!
Hey, spirits, y'all look creepy.
You know that man that had the cocaine? Turns out he's a coke dealer. What? Give me a tiny boat, and I'll sing all day.
Jellyface!
Okay, wait, not ready. I'm gonna die. What the hell?
Romo. Nick absolutely hates that.
No. They did that a lot
Nick
with like
hates that.
they did that a lot with Trump and Obama too. Like it was called like something different. It was called like
Oh, was it?
Oh,
I
okay.
thought I knew it. And by the way,
okay.
the answer is bad lip reading.
Yeah.
Go
yep.
fuck yourselves.
I don't think anyone's
As I'm
challenging
backing
you.
him up. I'm
Oh,
like,
yes. Oh, there was a lot of judging going on. Yeah.
I don't know where from.
Yeah. Right across. I'm looking at you. I'm looking right at you.
Looking right at you.
Looking right at you.
Don't even talk about it.
All right. Cory didn't want to end, so we're going to keep on going with gentleman's agreement.
Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's
Now, I can't end this early because Nick did this.
agreement. Gentlemen's
Otherwise, I'd make my hand slapped or something.
You probably would.
Probably.
agreement. Oh, gentlemen's.
Was that Nick in? Was that?
It's
Oh, yeah.
the motherfucking gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. What the fuck is going on?
That's right. You weren't prepared for that.
I don't think anybody could ever be prepared for
No,
that.
that's probably true. All right. It's me and Cory running the show tonight. Cory, you had surviving death.
I did, which is kind of weird because it's a series and it's not.
Did I give you that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not all about surviving death.
It's not all about you, sweetheart, either.
But which I had seen the first 4 episodes.
So hopefully you went beyond 4.
I did. I watched there's I think 6 altogether, so I watched 5 and 6. It was about reincarnation, or the possibility of reincarnation, and the other one it was close to people that see apparitions or
mediums.
No, that was 2 and 3. I already watched those. It was about people that have paranormal encounters.
Yeah.
But the reincarnation one was actually the one that really kind of stuck. Like it was pretty trippy. Like there was
that fucking weird.
These children that grew up and were able to give information and very specific information and facts of things that they should have never known about when they were like 5 or 6 to their parents. And they would say like, "Oh, my name is actually Steve," and their real name was James. Their parents named him James, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm Steve so and so." And their parents are like, "Well, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, well in World War II, I died on in a plane."
Shit. Wow.
And like this one kid was able to actually name like certain ships that were actually in World War II.
No shit.
And gave a name of what his dad finally went back and found out that the name of the ship and the name of this Navy pilot were actually all true. And there was no way that this kid ever would have known any of that. They said that he was so obsessed with planes and jet fighters and all that from such an early age. They would go to these shows, and the kid was able to name off every plane, and basically like go into the engine and be like, "Oh yeah, this is like knew everything about these planes."
That's trippy.
And ended up meeting the sister of the person that they feel he was reincarnated as, and they said like they right away like they connected. Like they've never seen each other, never knew each other before.
Wow.
And
What's the name of this?
Surviving Death.
The series is called Surviving Death. The first several episodes are pretty powerful, but each one it kind of has a different twist, and it's all real accounts. It's super cool.
Yeah, they have the this is not like we made stories about this and we have actors. Like they had the actual people that that dealt with this. And yeah, I do, like I said, this kid was it was amazing hearing what he gave to his mother and father and what he would tell them. And after being fact checked, like it was all actual stuff that's happened.
Wow.
There was a story and it wasn't in this episode, but there was you can look it up online. There's a story in the Middle East about a kid that was like 4 years old. And since he could talk, he was saying that he was this man, that he had died, and he was concerned about his wife. And his parents were like, what are you talking about? And so finally they asked him more about it, and they prodded more about it, and he said that he was shot or stabbed or something in the back, and the kid actually had a birthmark in the location that it happened.
Oh yeah,
and
that's something else they touched on. Yeah,
and he described who his wife was, who had passed away after he was born or something like that, and that he gave all this information about how he was killed and his village that he lived in. So his parents like appeased him and were like, we need to get some kind of closure. And they took him to this location. This wasn't in that episode, was it?
No, but they did the same, the kind of closure thing with
was that with the kid? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They ended up taking this kid out on a sailing expedition.
Oh yeah.
And they were able to get like 150 yards from where the plane went down that this guy died on. And they did a memorial service for the soldier and a lot of other soldiers, and basically said like, yeah, you're not forgotten.
Wow.
But you need to move on. And the kid finally, when he grew up, he was like, hey, this guy, I remember being out there and they have video of it, them being out there, and the dad giving this entire speech about, what the memorial and all that. And he's like, yeah, he's like the second, like my dad concluded, like, he's like, I felt like a relief.
So they had video of the kid when he was younger, and they took literally took him like to Japan or somewhere, like where this World War II plane was shot down, that he's claiming to be this person. And they took him out in the middle of this sea in a like small boat. They chartered this to basically help their son. Like, we need to get this over with. And they took him, and the kid broke down in tears in the middle.
No shit.
And was sobbing. And they were like, they were like, it's over. It's done. You're a new person now. And he was just in shambles, beside himself. And they said that after that, like, he was able to move on. He had closure. And so as an adult, like, the kid was talking and saying like, yeah, I remember it. And yeah, it was a big deal, but I've learned to move past that, you know? And I was like,
That's
holy
crazy.
fuck.
And to me, the reason like that was why that was the most interesting was, yeah, I love the paranormal and all that, but that's on kind of like a case by case basis. Like, people will be like, well, that's BS. Like, that doesn't mean anything. If you get a voice recording that kind of sounds like something, that's up to interpretation of an individual. This, like, you can't like, this child is telling you facts that they should never know.
Right. There's no explanation for that.
There's no explanation of why you know. I show you a picture of a World War II era plane, and you can give me the exact name of that plane,
right,
and how it operates. That's unbelievable. Like, that should not happen.
Wow.
So
we're
add that to my list.
So what'd you think?
It was fantastic. Listen, I don't know why I stopped after the first 4 episodes for whatever reason. Because like I said, I know I saw the medium ones, and again, same thing. Everyone's gonna have their own thoughts about mediums, and they're fake, or they're pulling this or that, and some people believe in it, hardcore.
So
but like I said, that reincarnation one, that was like, holy shit! How are you gonna deny that?
So and you might already know about that. We'll do the shot, but you might already know about this, and you might think it's all bullshit. But if you like that reincarnation thing, if you've never seen it, definitely look it up. I'm sure if he knows about it, would be the first person to wag his finger. But the kid in the 70s or the 80s that said he was from Mars.
I don't know why you're looking at me.
Have you never seen that?
Nope.
Holy
He's saying
fuck.
70s.
Have you ever seen that?
Old, he's trying to say you're old.
I give a shit.
No, Cory, there is
That's
actual video footage of a Russian child, like 6 years old, who, same concept.
Now I know it's bullshit.
No.
Children don't live past.
Listen. Look it up on YouTube. I don't know what it's called, but just type in, Russian.
Type in nothing.
Russian kid from Mars. Listen to me. There are all these fucking interviews that the State Department and everybody else did, because this kid knew way too much information about space flight, galaxies, like anything you can think of in regards to space, location, mileage to Mars, like all this fucking info.
Maybe he loves to read.
No, he was 6. And
kids read at 6?
Sure do.
Oh yeah. And so yeah,
they read at 6.
Yeah. So he knew trajectory, like all this shit.
American kids don't read.
And it's pretty crazy.
And he said that he was from a colony that was wiped out thousands of years ago on Mars. And he described everything and what would happen on Earth and where he was from and how he died. It's absolutely fucking amazing. You got to watch it. It's
I'll
legit,
check it out.
100%. Cheers.
Cheers,
everybody.
The Russian kid from Mars.
Yep. It's so crazy.
Ooh.
It's really trippy if you watch it. And everyone just like discounts it, like, it's some crazy kid. But if you even remotely like that, you will this will be awesome.
I'll have to check it out.
Yep.
Bobbert.
Start thinking about what you're going to give me, because I already got mine for you.
Oh, all right.
I had to watch The Gray Man. It's been weeks now, so I can't remember who assigned it to me.
I did.
Oh, nice. Thank you. I remember being excited because it was on my list of shit I wanted to watch. It's a Netflix movie directed by the Russo brothers, who did Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Avengers Endgame. They know how to do some action, and so it's just real. So no spoiler free. Ryan Gosling is the lead. He's playing a CIA agent who is one of their most deadly assets, naturally, and comes across some agency secrets that people don't want to be found out. It's very compromising, and he realizes he's now kind of stuck. Like he can't ignore it, and so he goes on the run. And one of their rogue agents, who's played by Chris Evans of Captain America fame, is now playing against type as a bad guy with like a sweet 70s porn stash and some flood pants, like tight pants jeans.
It takes you a second when it comes down. You're like,
I feel.
Why
like
do I know that guy?
I can't think of the last time I saw an actor having as much fun playing something that he's never had a chance to play. Just a dick.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so Chris Evans has to go. He's basically being paid to go hunt him down,
right,
with every resource at his disposal. And so, suffice to say, there's a lot of really great action set pieces. I'm a big fan of Chris Evans.
Yeah,
I think he's a really good actor. Loved him as Captain America. I didn't think I would, since he was fucking Johnny Storm to start, but then he turned me around. And Gosling is fucking awesome in most of the things that he does.
Yeah.
So it did not disappoint. It was exactly what I thought it would be, and a little bit more. But if, I'm not even going to say it's a stupid action movie. It's an action movie that I guess really depends on, if you don't like Ryan Gosling and you don't like Chris Evans, you're going to hate this movie. But if you're interested, like him, it's for you. Definitely check it out. It's on Netflix, so if you already got that, it's free, so you don't have to worry about it.
So you liked it?
Loved it.
All right.
Loved it.
It's a great movie.
If I had more time,
you've seen it already?
I think I would have watched it.
I think I've watched it twice.
I think I would have watched it twice by now if I had more free time.
Yeah.
All right, so
apparently I have too much free time.
Lazy fucking bum.
All right, Cory, you got A History of Violence.
Okay.
I know you haven't seen it.
I have not.
But it's building off of a movie that I assigned you previously.
Okay.
So there's a reason.
Fair enough.
So done. What do you got for me?
Dude, I've got
here we go.
You know who John McAfee is, correct?
Yeah.
He created the virus software.
I think I know what you're thinking about, and I think I've already seen it.
That just came out?
It just came out?
Oh, no. Sorry. No, this one didn't. No.
Never mind.
All right. Let's...
This was in the 70s.
You have Untold, the girlfriend that didn't exist.
All right.
Oh, I have so many of those.
Got it. I can't wait to watch whatever that is.
I guess I should have asked before.
Said no one.
I doesn't sound familiar, so.
Are you familiar with what was his name from Notre Dame? Manny Te'o?
Oh.
The name, yeah.
And the situation he had?
I'm not familiar with the situation.
Oh,
so
fuck.
I think,
hang on, let me
why?
take that back then, because if you don't know about when it happened, then it's not going to appeal to you at all.
All right. Well, I appreciate the context that you're the broad brush that you're painting this with. Honestly, this is more thought than a lot of people put into picks. So,
well, yeah,
go ahead.
I don't want you to watch and be like, oh, well, I have no idea.
Good.
You're not thinking of Quasimodo, are you?
Do what you do what you want. You know what? In post, I can edit out all this silence, so it's fine.
It's an audio.
It's an audio podcast. Damn it! All right, you have DB Cooper. Where are you?
Okay.
You know who
I'm
DB
so
Cooper is?
sorry.
Correct? You know who DB Cooper
And all the money?
Yes, Bob.
Oh, come on. He does. Of course he does.
Doobie Keebler? I know Doobie
Okay.
Keebler.
All right. So
I used to eat this cookies.
No, I have not seen it. I can't wait to watch it.
No, but you know who DB Cooper is, though, correct?
Doobie Keebler? Yeah,
Dude,
I'm aware.
Yes, he knows. It's
I'm
Bob.
just fucking
Of course-
making sure.
Of course he fucking knows.
God damn it.
I appreciate, though, the attention to detail.
I'm trying, buddy.
Fucking astounding. And with that, that is the podcast for this week. Tune in next week. We're going to have another episode for you, I think. We're not going anywhere. On behalf of Cory and Nick and special guest Dave, Ezekiel, we'll see you next week.